Good morning. It's President's Day, my first floating holiday of the year. I usually do MLK or President's Day, Juneteenth, and then my birthday. But this year, I'm not going to do Juneteenth. I'm doing the day after Christmas. Because I want to work the day after Christmas. I want to give myself that gift this year. So I don't have anything really so much about the liver. I got a lot done today. I did a lot of good. I did a lot of chores around the house. A lot of things for myself. Bought groceries, put them away, mostly produce. Did the dishes. Gotten a lot done. Cleaned up in here. I hit my head last night really hard getting into bed. I have a tendency to flop into bed, not just get into bed. So I hit my head really hard on this cabinet I have near it, like right back here, and it's not a bump and it never bled, but it hurts to the touch. So that'll teach me to just throw myself into bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I also have a diffuser right by my bed, which I had Virginian cedarwood in it, which I think smells great, and obviously it was all over the floor, so it smelled great in here all night, but I had to mop that up before I could go to sleep with pain in my head. So I have learned my lesson. So I don't have much to say about the liver today, but I do have two things that are sort of keeping me going. One, I'm going to study more on Python today, but when I studied yesterday, it started to click. One of the first programs that they ask you to write is a fortune cookie program where it tells you the day and then one of three fortunes, which you also write. And I did that. I did that on my own. I mean, I obviously was watching the videos, and the instructor explained what everything was, and I've dealt with Python before. I've tried various videos, and it didn't click yet. But I know how I learn. And I knew that if I just stuck with it and watched a variety of videos, that eventually it would start to work, and it is. So I don't think it'll be long before I can say, I know Python. And let's be honest, as I think any programmer would tell you if they're being honest, you don't really need to know a lot of code anymore. Anything you need to know, you can just look up and find on Google. And AI is going to take those jobs anyway. But it's still an important foundational skill that I really need to learn. And SQL, that's really going to help me with data engineering and probably AI, to be honest. And another one I think might be another query one. But it's going to be a nice feather in my cap, especially while, dealing with liver disease, I think it's going to be part of the story, and I think one of the things that you need now to succeed is a story, and that is something I definitely have. Whether or not my company wants to use the story, but I'll have it. So I'm excited that this is working out for me, and I once I learn my programming languages, then I will go back to heavily focusing on, first of all, I want to get my AZ900, which is your basic Microsoft Azure certification. I want to get that one first. I can probably test for that now, but I'm going to do some more studying because it's been so long. And then I want to get my DP 206. Don't take my word for it, it's been a while, but that is the data engineering one. And then I want to move over, which is kind of a lateral move, into AI and get the AI basic, and then get all of those certifications. So I'm happy where I am with this, and I'm happy to be back studying. It's going to take me a few weeks to get back into the swing of it, to enjoy doing it like I did before, but it's just a case of sitting down and doing it. And the second thing is, I think I'm going to start writing plays again. I used to do it a lot, especially in school. Everything I've ever written's gone. My parents threw it away when they cleaned out my room, and that's fine. If I wanted it, I would have brought it, or I would have saved it at some point, and I didn't. So it's my fault, really. I shouldn't have left stuff there. It's fine. They were juvenile plays. They were never going to be anything. There was one that I was proud of. I read a lot of Moliere at the time, and I wrote a little farce, 3-act farce. It wasn't great. It was a junior high's version of Moliere, but a junior high student's version of Moliere. But I was proud of it because it was something different and unique. And maybe someday I'll write another one, a better one. And the play that I want to write, I don't think it's about liver disease. I'm not sure what's brewing yet, but I think one of these weekends I want to sit down like late night, because I write best in the middle of the night, and just let myself do automatic typing. That's usually how I write. Although, if I can like come to get it together in my head first, would probably be better. Probably a better way to write, and I'd like to cultivate that. So I might start writing down some ideas and like going off of that. But it's definitely a good thing that I have this urge, because I haven't for years. I haven't wanted to write. I haven't felt that I had anything to say. I mean, I write a lot. I write a lot of like blog posts throughout the internet, like not necessarily under my name, but there's a lot of stuff out there where I write how I feel, what's going on. So I've kept in practice. I'm sorry, excuse me. I just finished my coffee. So, this is very positive. Maybe I'll write a novel. Novels are easier to deal with, and I could send those out. I don't mind getting rejection slips, because I'm not trying to make a thing of it. I just want to write. That's all. And I will, and I'm going to. I'm going to be studying my IT stuff and writing my creative stuff. And I think this is what I need to do. I need to focus on the things that make me happy, rather than what's going on with my body physically, which I do need to focus on, and I do every day. Like, that's most of what I do. I'm constantly eating, I'm constantly taking care of my body, but I also want to be able to use my mind again. And I will definitely start talking about my play when I start writing it, or my novel, or both. I have a habit of like, ooh, let me start this, and I'm going to let myself work on one thing at a time. And if I don't finish the one thing, then I will move on to another thing, and I'll come back to the thing. But I'm not going to just, I have a tendency to like, oh, well, I've got a better idea, and I'll abandon. I'm not doing that this time. I'm going to try to do it like an adult. I'm going to try to change my process a little bit, tweak it so that it's a little more productive. Because I haven't been, I have most of the plays I wrote were unfinished. So, maybe, no, I'm not going to say this is a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's terrible. It's awful. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But maybe being this sick has sort of pushed me out of the last of the depression, keeping me from really moving forward in life. And, yeah, it's time to keep going. I still need to work on the liver and focus on it and take care of it, but I also have other things going on. I can't just be a liver disease. I think that my mind would atrophy, and I don't want that to happen. It's very important to me not to lose my cognitive power. I've worked all my life to be where I am now, to be as smart as I am. It matters to me. It's all I care about. So I'm excited for what's going to be coming up for me, in terms of work, in terms of my writing, in terms of my certifications. I think this will give me a positive outlook that might help me physically anyway. So with all that being said, I'm going to stop here. Thank you for watching this, and I'll talk to you soon.